Welcome back, everybody. I'm Squall Charlson, and you've just stumbled onto an hour of tokusatsu awesomeness, right?
Yeah.
I'm joined today again with my friend SteveSekai.
Hello, I'm SteveSekai, aka Steven. I'm happy to be here. It's always fun to work and be on the show. So.
Yeah. And we have an awesome topic for today. So if you guys have been watching each episode, we have talked about sort of the introduction to tokusatsu. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the big TV3, so like Ultraman, Sentai, Kamen Rider. Mm-hmm. We've even talked about Godzilla, which, critically speaking, in tokusatsu, those are your four major, those are the big four names. So we are today talking about the titles and the heroes that fall in the shadow of those four, especially Godzilla, because it's a big shadow.
Yeah. He's a big guy.
Speaking of anything that's outside of Ultraman, outside of Sentai, outside of Kamen Rider, Godzilla, what comes to mind?
Well, immediately, my mind goes to the two Gs. You got Garo and you got Gamera.
Okay.
Of course, you also got Akiba Ranger, because...
Oh, yeah.
Squall left that on the table.
I was showing this up before we started recording. I'm just going to put that down here.
Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a lot of kind of smaller things that people might not have found or heard of. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. You said Gamera. You said Garo. Mm-hmm. Akiba Ranger, obviously, pretty big Akiba Ranger fan. When it comes to the shows that kind of fall out of it, I think one that is really surprisingly big but always somehow missed is the Metal Hero series. So, like one of the titles that we have on the shelf, Juspian, is Metal Hero series that was put on Blu-ray. It's,
Yeah, it became half of VR Troopers.
Big Bag Beetleborgs.
Yes.
Was that, am I mistaking things?
Big Bad Beetleborgs is another Metal Hero series that became a different adaptation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of like I don't know where I'm going with that.
You were trying.
But like even Ameritoku, like stuff that's made over here could still kind of be called niche of the genre, like in the shadow. Like Power Rangers has its own sort of fandom, especially here in the West, but like the cool stuff that they do with Japan with like bringing it back over, if you guys don't know, a lot of shows in Japan, which are Sentai, get ported over here, turned into Power Rangers, and then sometimes they go back to Japan with the original cast overdubbing their new American counterparts. It's crazy. Tokusatsu, it's kind of crazy. But
Mystic Knights of Tirnanog.
Oh my god, yeah.
Worst name for anything ever. You get Guyver, even though it's a manga and an anime. Manga first, obviously, but you had two Guyver movies here by most of the same people who ended up making Dragon Knight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually, Steve Wong and I'm assuming his brother Michael Wong.
No relation.
Maybe not. There's nothing on Michael Wong except that he worked on this and the second Guyver movie, and the third writer/story creator for Dragon Knight was also wrote the screenplay for Dark Hero.
Let's back up here a little bit. So last episode we talked about Godzilla, and Gamera is sort of the offshoot, sort of like fun cousin of Godzilla, right? Like I don't know much about it.
Almost.
The rival?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
It's not the same company.
Oh, so it's kind of like a knockoff rival. Okay. So the funny thing is like I was in high school and I bought the Gamera set on DVD. Never watched it. And then when they put it out on Blu-ray, I bought it again. Never watched it. But I do know that he's like a intergalactic space giant turtle.
And he flies by spinning around and rockets come out of his holes. Turtles have holes, I'm sorry. But
we all have holes.
Yeah.
Like our pores, those are all individual holes.
Imagine if flames shot out of every pore of your body. God.
If you got like really good vision, tryptophobia would be a thing because you just like zoom.
Oh, why did you? Okay. Anyway, I actually have a very similar story. My advisor in high school really loved Gamera, and I bought her like the DVD set of all the movies. For Christmas one year. She was so excited, but I still haven't seen any of it outside of like weird clips.
Actually, no, I take that back. They made like 3 new movies in the early 2000s, and I have seen the first one. I had that Blu-ray set too.
I assume that's not the one where he does the gymnastics bar.
No, it's like really good. It's kind of like Kamen Rider the Next.
Ooh.
Where the original is kind of cheesy, kind of, campy.
Yeah.
Just based on, the technological limits of the day when they made that and, the budget. And then like something like this is a reevaluation of what that story was and then making it kind of more tonally darker or, accurate with the subject matter.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it was.
Shin Godzilla-esque.
Oh,
Where's Shin Gamera?
Another one you actually talked about was Garo, and Garo is something that Lauren and I are watching right now for Tokusatsu Girlfriend, a podcast that I put out on my YouTube channel, and I was not expecting it to be as dark as it was, but I feel like that's kind of like the really nice thing about a lot of these little niche offshoot titles. Like, have you ever seen the Rescue Fire series?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen much of it. But yeah, that was another, I think it was like Tonka paid for it, maybe? Or some...
I don't want to say something and be wrong, but yeah,
I'll
that
be
sounds
wrong
about
for
right.
you. Yeah.
It's crazy because it was like just a series focused on rescue first and foremost. It was kind of like QQ Sentai Gogo 5, which was primarily, they're still fighting monsters. They're still saving the day, but they're like firefighters. They're rescue force, basically. So there's just a lot of things that you can kind of break the mold on by doing these own niche versions, whether it be like more adult themes, whether it be, a little bit darker overtone, or even just like straight up parody, like Akiba Ranger, gets into.
Garo really grew past kind of what a lot of these smaller toku become. It's had, several seasons. Masahiro Inoue, aka Decade, was in one of the seasons, and
Kamen Rider Decade.
Kamen Rider Decade.
Yeah.
And it's had a handful of anime adaptations too, ranging from like samurai era to very modern day. That one's wild. It's very weird because the Garo is, I believe, like pretty much an American. He's a really burly blonde dude who rides a motorcycle. It's a crazy time. Garo's fascinating in terms of comparing it to like Kamen Rider and Sentai and Ultraman.
I think kind of the thing that I first noticed when I started like figuring out seasons, because I started with Sentai. Obviously, Power Rangers got me into Sentai. Sentai got me into Kamen Rider because they had like a team up episode, and I was just like, what is this? And then Kamen Rider, of course, opened the door because you go to like back when I first got into it, there was like one or two fan translators, and they just had a bunch of stuff just right there. And so you kind of pick and you poke through what they have and kind of figure out stuff from there. And I think like watching a lot of these separate entries, these little, whatever you want to call them, are, I don't know, they kind of like help you like the other shows. Like you enjoy them a little bit more because there's certain polish to everything. There's certain, like a level of sophistication to some of these products, and then there's not. And so sometimes it really makes you kind of like appreciate what they're doing in these actual base shows. But I think one of the most notable ones is called Kanpai Senshi After 5, and it's like a Sentai team. So it's a group of 5 heroes, and the whole story takes place after 5, after their job is done, which is saving the world, and they're all at a bar getting drunk. And it's just like a straight up comedy series, like where like people are riffing off one another, and just sort of seeing that level to it, seeing like what the imagination can bring, because sometimes you want to see something crazy, something big, something never done before in these shows, and then the one that's most entertaining is this one that's just in a bar that is owned by the main villain who like keeps like messing up their karaoke songs. Just stuff like that. Like it's so refreshing to kind of jump into something like that, and that's kind of how I feel like with Garo too.
Yeah. I'm a notorious wiki diver. I'm the kind of guy who like, I'll get into something and then I'll just start scrolling through different fan wikis and seeing where it takes me. So it's really fun to hear these names like Rescue Fire and Garo and think like, what is this, and try and figure out where it came from, who's bankrolling it, who created it, what if they have any relation to, you know, any of the big four, like Dragon Knight being the same people who made Guyver,
Guyver being the unknown big five.
Yes, number 5,
Number
Guyver.
5 on that list, yeah.
Mark Hamill is in Guyver.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know? There'll be a quiz after this episode.
You know, the man who made Garo also did Kamen Rider.
The man who made Garo, you mean Keita Amamiya?
Yes, I forgot his name.
We talked about this like 5 times, and he's always just like, what's his name?
Keita Amamiya.
Just think of like Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Keita Amamiya. Here he goes again.
My.
Ooh,
he also made Kamen Rider ZO.
ZO. Oh, he did. Yeah, that's right.
He was the director of ZO, and then went on to make Garo. And what was that other show that we watched like 5 seconds of the opening of?
I don't know. I show you 5 seconds of like every show I know.
It's true. That's kind of just what we've been doing the past few weeks, is watching first episodes of a lot of different shows.
I will say one of the best games that you guys can do if you are brand new to tokusatsu and you like Sentai, you like Kamen Rider, just if it's possible, sit down and watch the first episode of like every season back to back. I did it when I was in high school. I watched literally every single, no, I did in college. I did every single first episode of Super Sentai, and it's funny and it's cheesy, and you can tell like kind of like where it dips and it dives, but you get this real immediate sense of what the whole season's going to be on. And just watching those, I was like, I want to watch this one, which was Live Man. And I ended up watching Live Man, and it was like super, it was really excellent. It was really like everything about it was like, this is what Sentai should be doing. Go back to it. You know, it's a little more adult, but
yeah, it's
a fun, cool idea that they really fleshed out in that season.
And we did it with Sun Vulcan, Car Ranger, and Kaku Ranger. And, you know, like I had very little, I guess, appreciation for what Sentai could be. And I was almost scared to go back to the old stuff. But doing that really opened the door. So you never know what you're going to like unless you know, go check out just the first episode. That's sometimes all it takes.
And I think like a big thing that's a big sort of problem with this fandom, not like saying like you guys are the problem or that you guys perpetrate this very thing, but because so many people come in at different times, if you're watching the Kamen Rider that's on right now and you love it, you're going to watch the next season probably. If it's good or if you like it, you're going to keep watching it. And if you can get past a certain threshold, you're going to, you know, just keep finding and looking into it. But the thing is like once you've sort of exhausted all of that, you know, season, all of those episodes, you've watched the whole thing, you know, you tend to move on to different things. You're like, well, okay, well, everyone's always talking about Super Sentai. Let me check out Super Sentai. But the problem is like a lot of modern Heisei and a lot of Reiwa stuff is very different. And so where I fell in love with Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, it's completely different from where you fell in love with Kamen Rider. And if you'll ever, you know, get on the Sentai bandwagon. And I feel like that's sort of a really tough thing to do because Kamen Rider fluctuates and Sentai fluctuates too. So if you catch a good Rider season, chances are the Sentai season's not going to be as good as that. And then it kind of flips and it flops almost. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to do something a little fun here. We are going to see who knows the most obscure toku. And how we're going to do that is we are going to play a little game. We are going to play 3 Strikes, You're Out. So how this is going to work, Steven, I am going to look up a character. I'm going to find an image on the tablet here, and you have to tell me either what character or what show they are from. If you get it wrong, you get an X. If you get 3 X's, you're out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to start you off easy, okay?
Okay.
Who is this?
Oh, man. It's Supaida Man?
Close. It's Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh.
You get an X.
What?
Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he has got.
Give me the American name for this man right here.
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. That's from the show. He's from that show.
Oh, I wanted his name, though.
I got it. Kamen Rider Chameleon.
Close. It's Camo.
Camo. Well, close enough.
I forgot we said show, so...
Yeah, haha. So you were trying to mess me up there. I am going to go a little bit harder here.
Okay.
And obscure toku. So are we putting in the rules that it can't be anything from Kamen Rider or Sentai? I feel like we should open it up a little bit more.
I think that's fine.
So we can't just say like Kamen Rider. We have to know the exact
Yeah, you have
season.
to know the season, at least.
Okay.
Let's see what he's got. It's Sky Rider. That's my guess.
How did you know?
Were you actually going to do Sky Rider?
No.
Oh.
Who is this? Or what show is she from?
Oh, no. I'm going to take a hard guess.
You got 5 seconds.
It's from Black.
Kamen Rider Black. Do you want to know what her name is?
Yeah.
It's Peebo.
Peebo.
From Chodenshi Bioman.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. If that's how
that's
we're
middle
playing
ground.
this.
That's middle ground.
Yeah. How is that middle ground?
I would have looked at it and said, I don't remember her name, but that's Bioman. Sentai.
Trying to think of something really hard now.
Ultraman. There you go.
Just any Ultraman.
Can we make an agreement? No Ultraman.
Yes. All right. This is a weird one. It's from this. This seems to be a stage show.
It looked like the cover of Holes for a second, like the DVD of Holes.
How did you?
I saw like
You're gonna look at this and you're gonna go, "That's not like Holes."
from
at
the
all.
angle I looked at. It
Okay.
looked like they were all on the hole looking down. Okay, let me see.
All right. Who is this man right here?
That is from Tokusatsu Gagaga, and it is like Leo Red or something.
Shishi Leo.
Shishi Leo. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you pretty much got it.
Boom! I got rid of an X if I had one.
No, that is
negative
not
one
how
X.
that works.
That's my show. I'll do it.
Bioman Peebo.
What is that, Doug? Is that what I'm humming? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Doug.
Made my chest hurt. Only 90s kids will understand.
That your chest hurts?
That we're dying.
Chest pain? Oh my god.
Are you ready for this, Steven?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, who is this?
Oh.
Or what show is this character from?
He's in...
Be careful. It's a trick
I know
one.
it.
It's a trick one.
It's a trick one? Oh, no. So then I'm going to say
Or
that it's...
maybe it's not.
Oh, you... That is in Kamen Rider Kabuto? No, Decade. No.
Which one?
Ooh. I watched the Decade episode and I don't think I saw him. Based on your face, I'm going to say Decade, though.
Okay, do you want to take a stab in the dark at his name?
Oh, God, no. No clue.
It's like Soyaru Ramagami something. It was from Kamen Rider Kabuto.
That is cheap. I want that point.
Red X!
No, I want that point. I said Kabuto first.
You settled
You said
on
it was a
Decade.
trick.
I said it could be a trick.
This is some BS. All of you at home know that I have 2 points. Or no, I have 1 X. I have 2 points, 1 X. Ugh.
We'll see. How do you guys like the show so far? Do you have any fun topics that you want to see covered on the show? Feel free to follow us on our Twitters. We have mine behind me, Steven's behind him.
Who is this man from?
Okay, I know that he played in Kamen Rider O's Date. He was in another thing. Let me see it. Let me see it.
He plays Kamen Rider Birth and O's. Boss it. But who else did he play?
It was somebody in Garo. Is it someone in Garo? What? What is it from?
He plays the next generation Uchu Keiji Shider.
Ah, yeah, I put that X right here on my face.
God, I want Applebee's.
I think no one has ever said that in the history of the world.
Everybody says it. Applebee's is delicious.
Okay, do you want the easy version of this or the hard version of this?
I'm going to say the easy version.
Okay, so this one should be easy. Who is either one of these characters, and what show or series or movie are they from?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
If only you would have paid attention to my obscure tokusatsu
I remember
things.
it. Because this is the one where Go on Red, isn't it?
That is Go on Red, yes.
Was it?
I have an affinity for the Go on actors, I just realized.
It's something like Red Man.
That is a good show. Might be a good guess.
No, is it? It's not Red Man. No, it's
you got 5 seconds.
I'm gonna final answer Red Man. I know it's something like that.
It is not Red Man.
Ugh.
It is Karate Robo Zobargar.
Zobargar.
Zobargar. Uh-oh, you're down to 2, Muddy.
All right. All right.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Maybe even photo finish. If I can't get this one, then it's gonna be whoever gets the one first wrong. If like you get one wrong and then I get one wrong, then it goes to whoever gets one right and the other one gets wrong.
Okay.
We'll figure
it out.
I almost gave you a Boob Ranger one.
Oh, that would have been funny.
But I that's when I remembered Karate Robo Zobargar.
Who are these 5 people from?
Oh, that is... Oh, I know this. It's a Chodenshi series. But I don't know... Granizer? I don't know any of the titles of them. Am I right?
No. That is Legend Hero.
Ah! I hate Legend Hero. But is that still a Chodenshi series?
I don't believe so, because I think it's Korean. Legend Hero?
Legend Hero.
I googled Legend Hero to find it, so you can...
All right, we've come into the final round.
2 and 2. Here we go.
We're going to keep going until somebody gets this wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. I don't like that laugh.
That's when you know that I've got something good.
Yeah. Something like Peebo or Zobargar.
Karate Robo Zobargar.
Karate Robo Zobargar.
You ready for this one?
Nope.
All right. You have to tell me what the character, like what one of the characters is named, or what series or movie or whatever they're from. You ready?
Yep.
Who is this?
Oh, that's the.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what is it called though? It's the idol group who had their own Sentai movie that was like 8 Man or something. 8
Man? 8?
It was like 8 something. This is killing me.
5 seconds.
8 Ranger.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 8 Ranger.
Yes.
I thought that this would throw you off because there is clearly 7 of them.
Oh, are there? I didn't count.
I'm pretty good at this.
I will give you this. It's a different design of something that you should know.
Okay.
Who is this man? Different design of someone you do know.
It's Guyver.
It is Guyver.
Yes. Oh man, this is good. This is good for the final round. We'll see who's gonna win. Oh, this is sweaty. You were really worried.
I'm very scared.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
No.
This might be the game.
This might be it. Oh.
Who is this character, or what series is she from?
Oh, it's from After 5.
Are you sure?
Now that you've said that.
Yeah, it's from After 5.
5. I was gonna say she has the 5 on her chest. You shouldn't have showed it to me.
Well,
all right.
I shouldn't have showed you a lot of things.
What are these 4 from?
4. Oh, they are the what the hell? They're like the Beverly Hills. They are like the alien...
Tattooed alien
from Beverly Hills.
From Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Final answer?
Yes.
No.
That is...
They are the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. It's not Ultraman!
Name one of these characters' names without looking it up.
Oh.
I rest my point. All right, I'll take this L.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
But if we were actually going by it, you did lost with your 2 because you said Kamen Rider Decade.
So it's kind of a tie. Whatever.
It's a tie. We recorded both versions of who won and who lost.
We'll just play both.
So I'm just gonna play both. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, this is Let's Talk Toku, and we are talking about tokusatsu that falls out of the shadow of the big 4 names. I'm talking Godzilla, Ultraman, Sentai, Kamen Rider?
Yeah.
I always...
The one behind both of us?
So if you guys caught the show before we hit the break, we did a fun little guessing game where we both compiled images of lesser-known characters. I gotta give it to him.
I am an encyclopedia of useless tokusatsu knowledge, apparently.
I feel like he cheated.
I probably did.
I gave you like 1 or 2 of those because you were close enough.
Okay, thank you.
If you caught us before the break, we went over a fun little segment where we had to guess obscure tokusatsu characters in 30 seconds to see who could get the most right. And, baby, yeah.
I wonder which one of us spends most of our time watching obscure episodes of tokusatsu.
Why do you think I'm hosting this show? So let's continue talking a little bit about the niche surrounding the big 4 in tokusatsu. Now, we talked a lot about sort of the titles that are in Japan, that have come out of Japan, Gamera, Garo, but we need to talk about outside of that, international. So, like, for instance, South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of them?
Occasionally.
Yeah. So, do you know what they do with, like, Super Sentai footage?
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, South Korea takes Super Sentai and then just dubs it over in Korean, but the name is still Power Rangers.
But how did they get away with that?
Well, you see, part of my senior thesis work was finding out that Power Rangers is actually the much bigger brand internationally. Mm-hmm. The name became so famous.
Like synonymous with
what would be Super Sentai.
Got a little bit of water in my nose.
Yeah. Even countries where Super Sentai is just taken whole hog and dubbed over, they still keep that Power Rangers name because it's so much more famous.
It's more iconic than Super Sentai, you might say?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like what South Korea does because they don't necessarily just take the footage most of the time. Like, they even go so far as to making their own second season with actors and characters that look nothing like the original ones, but still pretend that they're the original ones. So it's like...
Yeah. They did that with Kyoryuja and made it Power Rangers Dino
Force
Brave. Is it Dino Force? Yeah, it's something like that. But they made Brave.
Someone's going to correct us online.
Probably. Made that second season because Dino Force or whatever it was so popular in South Korea that they were like, we have to do this. So they took a bunch of K-pop stars. They made their own second season, which then Toei took back and redubbed it in Japanese and released it online on their tokusatsu website.
That's crazy to me. Like, if you even like look at the poster behind you, like that's the Japanese poster for Kamen Rider Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
So like that show, other shows like Power Rangers, SPD, Power Rangers, what else did they did Samurai.
It was everything up to SPD and then I believe everything after Samurai.
I mean, it's just really cool that they get to have that sort of option of when it gets brought back over to pursue that and watch that and view that. And if you're a fan of the original shows, it's really interesting to see what America did, right or wrong even, you know, and like that's always really fun to kind of see like Japanese fan base discuss and talk about. Like Beast Morphers was really big with the outcry from Japan of how awesome everything that they're doing is.
I mean, Dragon Knight is wildly different than Ryuki. It's about an alien invasion of this whole second world and coming to Earth, as opposed to this kind of duel against each other. So they had to make a whole bunch of extra monster suits because they would only be used once in Ryuki, just as like an occasional, like, I guess, mini boss in their fights. But they made so many suits as a kind of just like a mook in Dragon Knight that they then got used in the Decade in Double movie.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, no, if I remember watching it and like, or watching a trailer for something like that, and they show off these suits and I was like, hold on, that's the Dragon Knight monster. And so I went and I looked it up, and sure enough, Dragon Knight took this one enemy design that was used once in Ryuki, and then just made a whole bunch of suits out of it and made that like their putties or whatever, and just used that over and over. And then Toei just had all of these suits because they helped make Dragon Knight, and just brought it back and used them in some of their movies.
Dad? Enough talk about anime and just, this isn't an anime show.
Yet.
We need to talk about the biggest thing that I think have come out of this, which are more individual, I would say, is video games. Like, one of the video games that I played so much when I was in middle school was A Beautiful Joe. And I was always just like, he's like an individual Power Ranger, before realizing the references to Sentai, to Kamen Rider, mostly because he's got like his flowing scarf. And just other really cool stuff like that. Like, he's got like his poses. He even says,
"Tension a go-go, baby."
Yeah, that's what he says.
I was waiting for that.
Man, I was getting there, but you cut me off.
It's mine now.
But we'll see.
Damn it, the power of editing.
Like, one of the video games that I played so much when I was in middle school was A Beautiful Joe. And I was always just like, he's like an individual Power Ranger, before realizing the references to Sentai, to Kamen Rider, mostly because he's got like his flowing scarf. And just Henshin a Go-Go, baby.
Oh, there are whole games based on Sentai and Power Rangers, like Super Time Force Ultra. Is that it? It's that, or there's you might need to cut that if I'm wrong. I might be mixing up two totally different games. Man, Final Fantasy 15 added Magitech armor to all the characters.
Did they? I thought they didn't.
So no, that's the thing. So they are in the game.
Okay.
They're just not colored like they were originally going to be, because of a certain individual saying, "No, that's too much like a property I own."
Walt Disney?
Basically. We'll say Walt Disney for the sake of not getting in trouble. It didn't get canceled. It's the same game that I can't remember the name of, but it they had to put at the end that it was inspired by a certain individual's property. And
Michael Wong's Dragon Knight?
Steve and Michael Wong's Dragon Knight.
No relation. That we know of. Who is Michael Wong? One of my favorite shows, it's called Danger 5. Got a Danger 5 poster. It's on the other side of the...
Take a picture of it. Just edit it.
I'll put it
later.
right here. But Danger 5 was really fun because it is just all sorts of bat crazy. And the thing in the first season is they have a whole episode. Like, all the episodes are kind of in different parts of the world, and it's supposed to be like a World War II troop of super soldier, like this squadron of really cool people that go out and they do special missions. And one of the places they go to is Japan, where the enemy, the villains of the episode, are brainwashing people and turning them weeb Japanese people. So they're domo arigato, and it's really cringy and it's really funny. But it just culminates to the end of the episode where they have to fight the main villain in a giant robot, and it's like an Ultraman fight. is really cool.
That's
And
awesome.
they're all in the cockpit steering stuff, and like the one who's always smoking, she's got like the whole cockpit's all smoking because of her. And then even in like season 2, they have the final fight. They all come together one last time and transform into a squadron of 5 colorful heroes, which is, you know what it is.
A certain individual's property.
The best part is like they're all introducing their weapons, and like the Pink Ranger, he's my favorite one. He goes, what does he say? He says like automatic 2x4. He's just got like a plank of wood.
I don't know. Most of my knowledge is in anime now, sadly.
That is sad.
It is. I wasn't a weeb until a few years ago, but now I'm so far down the hole. Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, One Punch Man. That's not too weeby. One Punch Man has Moomin Rider.
Oh yeah, Moomin Rider. He's your day-to-day
helmeted
bicycle man, which is just Kamen Rider on bike.
Exactly.
There's so much. Like I showed you this show. It was called Mitsudomoe, which is about these 3 troublesome girls in like what, 5th grade?
5th or 6th grade, yeah.
I've seen. I watched the whole show, but I forget little details like that. But one of the characters, he is a new teacher for this class, and his secret passion is a Sentai that uses like Kamen Rider belts, because it's like a combination of both of those ideas. And one of the girls, she's kind of like the darker, creepier, scarier one. She's just misunderstood. She ends up really liking Sentai, and they bond over it. And then episode 1 in season 2 has a complete like 20 minutes devoted to this fake fictitious Gachi Rangers where the monsters, because it's anime, is like drawn with like mouth holes in the suit, and it literally just turns into all of them just beating the ever-living hell out of this monster.
Using like brass knuckles.
And it's just the 5 of them just surrounding him, just saying, taste our Gachi fury,
Just over and over. There's also not quite Toku, more on the drama side, but Tokusatsu Ga Ga Ga.
Oh, how did we go this long without talking about that?
I recently watched through all of that. Very cathartic for me, personally. For reasons, watch the show. It's so good. It's really funny, really endearing. I think one of my favorite parts is that the wise sage character who has all these really good sayings that you're like, oh man, that's deep, is just a little kid that the woman befriends, and he just like says things that a kid would say, but has this great like knowledge and wisdom to it, because he also watches tokusatsu, and it's all about not giving up what you love and keeping that kind of stuff in your heart, and not caring what anybody thinks, no matter your age or your gender or anything, which is how we both ended up here. So keep loving tokusatsu. And, well, I'm not going to imply that you're going to get your own show, but that's what happened.
I got a good story for you. So when I was in high school, I was known in 9th grade as the Power Ranger kid, because I was watching Power Rangers on my laptop at school when I, got all my stuff done. I would just watch it, and people would, be watching behind me, and they'd see all that stuff. And at first, I was kind of embarrassed, but I stopped watching Power Rangers because I got into Super Sentai towards the later half of my 9th grade year. And I was so enamored with it that I did not care anymore, because I was just so like, I have 10 minutes. I want to just spend 10 minutes watching this, and it was still, there's the Power Ranger kid. Like, he always watches Power Rangers. But the difference was when someone actually came up and talked to me about it, or actually sat there and watched it for a while behind me, they became interested in it, and they were just like, this isn't Power Rangers, this is what, it's Japanese Power Rangers? And I was like, no, it's called Super Sentai, it's this, and I would show them, like the first scene of Geki Ranger where he's wrestling a bunch of pandas, and I'm like, this is Super Sentai. It's way different. The story is, can get wild, can get crazy, can get dark, can get serious, can even be like more goofy than, some of the stuff over here. But the characters get the development they need because they have twice as many episodes to sort of cushion that. And again, like all my high school year, like I became more outspoken. I even like did like my own like Sentai series towards my like senior year, but I still had that same sort of presence where I would just not care. I would watch it like at the mall because I had to, like wait there for my mom to pick me up and everything. I would just watch it everywhere and anywhere I could. And I got a couple of my friends into it and actually to watch, a season, like they got into it enough to watch like Kamen Rider Double with me, Decade, whatever. And it came to the point that I just realized that my happiness, that my enjoyment of this was far greater than any shame that anybody could put on it. And back then, it's such a small, almost closeted niche of a thing that, nobody really knows or talks about. And just seeing how much it's expanded that, like for me, 10 years later, I have my own show talking about it. I have, all these people online that watch the new episodes that I can immediately jump on Twitter and just discuss anything that I want about Kamen Rider, about Super Sentai, Ultraman. It's all right there. That if you would have told that to me 10 years ago, I would have never believed you. I would have also said, get out of my way, I'm making another dance video. But it just goes to show, like, if you guys really do truly care about something and you're passionate, keep with it.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody else decide what's best for you. And, sometimes it can be hard because, you're living with your parents who don't agree. You live, just keep going, keep moving, because it wasn't until college that I realized that I had the power to literally go out and do anything I want, and nobody could tell me that that's not the right thing to do. And that's how my YouTube channel came about. That's how all the videos and everything, that's literally how this happened. So just keep that in mind. But I think we've covered the topic of niche toku pretty well. If you guys watch tokusatsu enough, if you enjoy these shows, don't hesitate to reach out and find something different. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit, because I know you showing up here to help out on the show, a couple weeks ago, just absolutely could not understand why people like Sentai as much as they do. And
it's true.
I think I broke through you a little bit by showing you some of the older stuff that's,
I kind of, want to go back and watch at least Kakuranger.
Mm-hmm.
And, tokusatsu opened a lot of doors for me. I wouldn't be here right now, more or less living my dream, if it weren't for me just saying, no, this is something I love.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, live your dreams, kids.
No, wait, did you say leave your dreams?
No, don't leave your dreams. Live your dreams.
Live your dreams.
Live them. Follow in the footsteps of your favorite Sentai and writers, unless they died.
Hold on, I'm going to take a photo of you right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that on a poster, and it just says, live your dreams, and I'm going to hang that up on the wall.
Please do.
There's so much more to cover. Like, I feel like we may have to do a part 2 on this at some point. Sure. Because there's so many other things. Like, I'm just thinking right now, like, what did we not talk about? Like, we might have to come back and do a part 2, and I hope you will all join us there. Well, that's all that we have for today on this episode of Let's Talk Toku. I'm Squall Charlson.
I'm SteveSekai.
And we will see you all next time.
Oh, God.